Welcome to Synthetic Oil Protection. I'm your host, Eben. We're back with our good man, Tom. Now, if you haven't seen Tom before, we already did the engine flush on this sucker. We're back on the 2018 Titan XD 5-liter turbo diesel. And this truck is it's very interesting. It's interesting to try Nissan diesel power. It's something intriguing. I've never seen it before, so you're going to see more of it. And we're going to ask Tom a couple of questions. So Tom, how'd you like that engine flush last time?
Well, that worked well. I think I got, I'm trying to remember what we got in additional miles per gallon on freeway, but I think it was like maybe six.
All right, 6 more miles per gallon on the freeway.
So, I mean, brought it right up to just a little bit under 20.
All right. And what are we doing over here? What are some of these fluids? Show us.
Well,
Show us what we're up to.
You know more than I do.
Yeah, but we just did
I did so well with the oil, I decided to change out all the fluids to Amsoil.
All right, and we did the rear diff, right?
Did the rear diff.
So we already tapped this sucker. We got the severe gear in there. Yep. And that's actually the very first synthetic gear lube ever to be made in the United States by Amsoil. They make the severe gear lube, and it's 100% synthetic, so all the film is complete. You have these same size molecules, same shape, and it's not from refined oil out of the earth. A lot of these synthetics are actually refined oils that have all these different sizes and shapes. And we actually have a video on how synthetics are different, but most people don't know that full synthetic is actually a synthetic blend. So now we're going to be doing the transmission fluid. This is 100% synthetic ETF fluid, and this is also the very first in synthetic transmission fluid. So Amsoil is the first to make synthetic motor oil. They're also the first to make synthetic transmission fluid and the first to make synthetic gear lube. And we got Sergio, he's the owner of the shop.
Hello everybody.
And Serge is a mastermind. We're nailing out the power steering fluid, which we also did a cold flow test on this power steering fluid. So if you want to see this cold flow test up here in the corner, check it out. We show how this is different than the other power steering fluids. We got some glass cleaner, we got the silicone splay for the rubbers, and we got the .3, .4 brake fluid. This brake fluid is so good, I say some people climb over mountains, scuba dive under seas, and some drool on buses just to get, look at Tom, he's laughing, but it's true, to get a quart of this 100% synthetic brake fluid. Now you say, well, Eben, why the hell are you making such a big deal about this brake fluid? Well, this brake fluid doesn't boil at the lower boiling point. So this actually exceeds the boiling point of 368. So you're not going to have this soft brake pedal feel. So you keep a rock hard brake pedal. You have a lot more better brake modulation, especially if you're off-road. Tom's going to be doing some off-road stuff. So you're not going to lock up the brakes as easy. You're going to have more confidence. And you can also take down hills better, so you're not going to lose your brakes, because if you ever boil your brakes, Tom, and
besides, rock hard is always good.
Yes, exactly. That's how you penetrate your future. That's how you get ahead in life. So this stuff right here will do that for you. And now we're going to be swinging on over to our ostentatious, bodacious bro over here. He's getting to all 4 corners, and he is bleeding the brakes with the machine, which we already got tons of brake fluid in here. It's crystal clear. And believe it or not, most people don't know much about brake fluid. Actually, the brake fluid should be changed about every year if you're doing high performance driving. Like for instance, AMG, they switch out the brake fluid on like a car like mine, the SL, every year. If you're doing a lot of towing with this, you want to do it every year. If you're doing all highway driving and you live in a cool area, like say Michigan, or you live somewhere really mild, like Florida, you're good for about every 3 years on the brake fluid if you're not doing any super high heat stuff. But if you're doing a lot of that high heat stuff and the high temperature, you want to do it every year. And we're going to be getting to the transmission in a second. Hey, and I also wanted to mention, if you wanted to try the Amsoil products, all you do is click that little show more button right here, or if you're on a laptop desktop, click the reverse down arrow. You'll see it right there in the corner. All the links are down there if you want to try the Amsoil products. If you do, my name's Eben. I'll be your independent Amsoil dealer. And when you use my link, I'll be able to answer all your questions on the products. So this is what I do about 60 to 70 hours a week. And definitely subscribe, because we're gonna get your car to run longer and stronger. All right, we got Tom on the MP metal protector, and he's gonna he's gonna show you how to start lubing. So this MP metal protector is a penetrating oil. It's odorless, doesn't smell really, and it's just amazing. It drives out moisture.
What do you mean it doesn't smell really? Does it really smell?
I don't know,
really
Tom.
does?
You tell us. Yank that straw out of there.
Just
yank it off. Yep.
All right.
Pop the cap.
Pop the cap. Put the cap.
Shove that little straw in the front of it. You got it?
Right there.
Just don't spray it in your eyes.
Yours.
Yep. Give it a shake, Tom.
Shake it up.
Yep. And start nailing all those bolts. Every single bolt and hardware. Everything. And what this is going to do is down the road, one day if Tom ever gets new hardware, he gets new sway bars, he gets any type of new suspension components, brake lines, brake hoses, stainless braided lines, when he goes for that hardware, everything's going to break loose a lot easier. It's going to make it a lot easier for you. It's going to also protect the metal in the future so it doesn't have any rust or corrosion. And this is especially important if you're launching boats, which Tom has. And we may even be showing a video on that soon.
Unless, of course, you want one.
Exactly.
Give me a call.
And then you can just buy Tom's and take it off his hand. They say the best part of buying a boat is the day you buy it and the day you sell it. Those are the best 2 days of owning a boat. You like that? You like that, Tom? So all your leaf springs, hardwares, metals.
Speaking of that, I got a trailer on the boat. I think I need to replace the leaf springs because I've got a situation I'll show you later.
All right, I like it.
Let's see, you got that one.
It's always a situation. All the hardwares, yep. So when Tom goes and gets rid of this metal cover, that cover will come off so much easier. You got some hardware back here, up here in suspension components, all this. Yep. And I got Tom, what did we get, Tom? 2 or 3 cans of MP. Because, you know, it just never ends. I think we got 2 cans of it. We got 2 or 3 cans of silicone spray for all the rubbers. So you might be saying, Eben, are you abandoning the plastics? Are you abandoning the rubbers? Not at all. We don't abandon anyone. Never. So, Tom, if you want, you could even show off how to put this on plastic or rubber. The rubbers and plastics, and this locks out moisture, keeps it protected. So, Tom, you know what to do.
Shoot it up.
Yep, all your rubbers, plastics, anything.
Okay, so guide me here a little bit.
Oh yeah, all your, just plastic. Cover all this. Cover all this plastic right here. Keep going until it saturates. Actually penetrates in. Gives this beautiful, gorgeous coating to it. Yep. It's like painting the Mona Lisa. The only thing is the ending looks a lot better. Right, Tom?
Always. What about tires?
That's a damn good question. You can use anything on tires. Really, you don't need to waste your time on tires unless it's a show truck. But it just depends on the way you want to look at it, you know.
Well, this is not a show truck.
Everyone looks at their vehicle in different light. You know, for me, that's my work truck over there. So people say, Eben, what car do you drive? That's the synthetic oil protection machine. And I call that my work truck. So everyone does different work. And
More than I know, I'd call it money.
they say money ain't nothing. The only thing money's good for is keeping in touch with your kids. That's what they do.
Don't have any.
I know. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for reminding me.
Anytime, even, that's what I'm here for.
You're the best. That's beautiful, Tom. Look at that shine. Let me give him a close-up of that.
Yeah, you need a shop.
Beautiful. So it's good to rub it in sometimes. So Tom, he's giving it a little rub in. It's going to make it nice and shiny.
All right, rub it in.
Yep.
Get this guy.
Yep. And spray that sucker. You can even do this up here.
Yeah.
Or with the silicone. Oh, that's okay. It's not gonna hurt nothing.
No,
It ain't gonna hurt nothing. Gonna hit our plastics with some silicone. All your plastics you can hit. Beautiful. And now rub it in a little bit, Tom. Show them what it looks like when you rub it.
nice.
Beautiful. All right, the transfer case is full. We just put in the 100% synthetic liquid cherry, and this right here is good for double the severe service of the OEM interval, and it meets and exceeds all the major specifications. And it's great because it keeps the metal parts separated, and they can actually call a full synthetic when it's 25% synthetic or more. So a lot of people don't know that, where Amsoil is 100% synthetic, and for it to be good for double the severe service, it has to be about 4 times better, because the oxidation of lubricants is exponential. So now he just got done pumping it, filling her up, and now he's just corking her up. And transfer cases are just a basic drain and fill, so there's nothing special to it. You fill it on the high bolt and you drain it from the bottom bolt. So that's our top bolt, and right there's our bottom. And now he's just gonna firm her up, and that's it. Great, we're just draining her down, and we're dropping the old ATF fluid. Looks pretty good. It's not that bad. And we're gonna drain the pan and then drop the pan. All right, it's that time to put in the liquid cherry.
Lift it up so we can see the liquid.
Yeah, let them see the liquid cherry. Look at it flow.
Oh yeah, come over here.
Look at it flow.
Cherry juice.
Looks so pure, so clean, almost untouchable, but it is touchable. And this is the 100% synthetic. It's going down through that little teeny weeny straw, and it's like burping a baby goat. You got to take your time. It's like bottle feeding. Tom thinks it's funny, but it's true.
I was just thinking about the last time I burped a baby goat.
Oh my God, what happened, Tom? Tell him.
Shit on my foot.
There you go. So watch yourself. Keep yourself clean when you're working with these suckers. And here's another quart, Tom. You want to crack one loose?
Sure.
Crack it open, a nice virgin quart.
Although I noticed that there was a special technique to put this in.
There's no special technique, Tom.
Slow.
What it looks. Oh, there you go. Good, Tom. You know what to do.
Yeah, I do. Even left-handed.
Yep, lefty. Tom's a natural. Tom is a natural.
Oh, we're leaking down below there.
You gotta just push it in a little bit. Just push it in. Push the funnel in as you pour. Yep, and just go slow. Yep. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Stuff is pretty.
Yeah. So we probably got about what? How many quarts came out? About 5, 6?
8.
8 quarts. So always get extra, just because you think you got enough, and if you spill a quart, you're always better off having more than less. So there we go. Beautiful. All right, we're gonna be out on the road racing around with Tom in a minute. You ready to go racing, Tom?
Absolutely. Baja, here I come.
I love it. As we say in the channel, if it ain't fun, it ain't messy, and if it ain't messy, it ain't fun. That's why the wetter, the better. And whether it's me doing it or this gentleman or Tom, it's always makes a damn mess, right, Tom?
Right.
There's no 2 ways about it. So yeah, it's a part of the process, so don't be shy. Getting lube all over the place, and as we say in the channel, lube to love, love to lube. And that's why I get up in the morning, to help people with their car, to get their car. Will you hold this, Tom? Let me show them how we get their car to run.
Okay.
We get their car to run longer and stronger. Hours to drain. No, I'm just kidding. It's not going to take 10 hours, but it's going to take a while. So we got her draining. We filled her up with some distilled water, so now she's going to be clean a little bit. We ran the heater core, which we always do. And if you want to see more on coolant, check out this playlist up here in the corner. We do a bunch of coolant changes on the channel with the Amsoil. The best of the best of the best of the best of the best. And you say, well, how is it so good? meets and exceeds all the major 18-wheeler specifications, Freightliner, pack car, Mercedes-Benz. But the great thing is you're good for up to 1 million miles or 8 years on an over-the-road truck. If you're on a light car or truck like this, you're good for about 5 years, 150,000 miles. So you're good for a long time. Then all you do is just mix it with distilled water. And by mixing it with distilled water, you can mix it to the exact ratio you want. So for Tom, he's not going to be doing any real cold driving. So what we're doing is we're going to be mixing it at about 40% concentrate, 60% distilled water. That's going to make him good to about -6 degrees, which he's not going below -6, so he's fine. So there you have it. And the other great thing about this, it's very environmentally friendly. So it does biodegrade in the wild if it spills in the ground, and it's not going to hurt the animals like regular coolant, which a lot of people don't know. OEM coolant will actually burst their internals. So it actually tastes sweet to animals. It's really weird, but I didn't know this until I talked to a vet, but they said you got to watch coolant in animals. And so basically they lick this sweet, flavorful stuff up, just OEM coolant, whatever they call it. I think that's like a regular 50-50 coolant, something like that. But basically they keep licking it. Once they get full, a couple hours later, they get a little weird. And then next thing you know, whoop, they're done. They're dead. So if you can stay with something that's a little bit more environmental friendly, it's going to treat your vehicle a little better. You're going to have less pitting on the aluminum and the aluminum jackets. So this coolant flows around the cylinders inside the motor, and basically you can get this frequency issues and metal corrosion. So the reason why you use distilled water, there's no calcium or deposits in there, there's no metals, it's all boiled out. So between this and that, you're going to have a smoother idle, better operation, motor's going to last longer, gasket's going to last longer, and you can feel the power, which Tom, our good man Tom, he's gonna be able to verify how this thing runs after we're done. Little blow job. Gonna start blowing on it. What that's gonna do is that's gonna help expedite this fluid coming out down here. So just put a little pressure on it. Gonna help it shoot out a little quicker. Right, we're opening up a nice virgin bottle of the low toxicity biodegradable coolant. The only stuff I use in my personal vehicle. I use this in my 59 Kitty Cat, and I also use it in my synthetic oil protection machine. And this is the other liquid gold. It's got that beautiful look to it. And God, is it just amazing how much it changes the frequency of your motor. It runs quieter. You'll notice your motor will run and rev a little smoother. And so we're going to put in exactly 5.5 quarts, and we're going to run his system at 40% concentrate, 60% distilled water. And what that's going to do, that's going to give him a higher specific heat capacity. So distilled water has the specific heat capacity of 1, concentrate has the specific heat capacity of 0.6. So we're going to be increasing the total heat holding capacity. And then 2, this also has a better heat transfer too than a lot of the other coolants. And we're going to use the Dominator coolant boost, which we're going to show you right now. All right, it's that moment of truth. We're putting the icing on the cake, Tom. That's it, the whole thing, the Dominator coolant boost, the whole bottle goes in. And what this is a tri-tiered surfactant technology. It allows the water molecules to get closer to the aluminum. You say, well, what the hell is that going to do? Well, when it gets closer to the aluminum, it actually pulls the heat out quicker. The more heat you pull out, you have a better heat transfer, and that heat goes into the coolant where you want it, not in the motor. And now we're going to put another half of this sucker, and that's going to do it. And the treat ratio is about 1 ounce for every quart of concentrate, 2 ounces for every quart of distilled water, which we're running this at about 40% concentrate, 60% distilled water. You got it, Tom? You taco.
Got it.
And then you taco it. You got it. Perfect. And you can put half of that bottle in, and you're going to keep the other half for the rest of the year. And this goes in every 1 year, 30,000 miles. And that actual chemical, that tri-tiered surfactant breaks down. So you actually have to replenish your system. You don't have to change the coolant, but you do want to replenish that system. And it's just amazing how much better your heat will come out of your vents. The heat will be hotter. you'll actually make a little bit more power, and you'll have a little bit cooler operating temperatures, which is a good thing. That extends the life of your gaskets and all different components, because oxidation breaks things down exponentially. Rubbers, plastics, metals, your oil. So everything's just going to last longer and run stronger. And if you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe. Go ahead and tap this little button, and then you're going to see the notification bell. You're going to go in here, you're going to allow it all the settings in the badge. You're going to go back and you're going to click this bell, and you'll hit all notifications. That way you'll get a notification when I publish my next video. All right, we're out on the free roads, and Tom's back in the saddle, and
You know,
the only thing we could do is get Tom's impressions.
well, so far it just threw me back against the seat. That wasn't expected. I don't know if that's from the transmission fluid or what, but it's working.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah.
So how long have you had this sucker?
Brand new since 2008, towards the end of 2018.
Wow.
So,
And what was
4 years, 5 years,
all right,
3 years.
and what was the inspiration behind buying this sucker?
3 or 4 years before then, I was driving down the freeway. One of these guys passed me, and I went, Nissan, diesel, truck? I think I want one of those. And so that's what ended up happening.
That's cool.
And I've been really nothing but happy with this rig. I mean, I've got 110,500 almost, 449, and really the only thing I've done is put the right fluids in.
All right.
Amsoil. Yeah, well, I did an oil change. That was a significant difference. I don't know. I mean, I went from 14 miles a gallon up to a little over 20 on the freeway, so that was meaningful, especially in days of $7 gallon gas.
Oh my God.
So, you know, I mean, the savings there was significant. So we'll see what we do. We're driving down to Baja next.
All right.
And I'm going to see where we're at. Right now, doing in town, I'm getting 12. But I get on the freeway and it'll be 20 or more.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, just right there, the acceleration was a big difference.
Wow. That thing's smooth. Wow. So Tom, tell him how we met.
I think we met was that a Mexican food joint or was that an Italian food, Thai food place?
That's a good question. I think we met at the yoga studio.
No, we didn't meet at the yoga studio. We met at the food place first.
Oh, the food place. You're right.
And the yoga studio later.
All right. You're right. You're right. Oh yeah, I remember now. We went to that really good Mexican restaurant. We had the crab meat thing.
Yeah, that was super good.
That was a damn good food.
What was that? What was the holiday?
It was Halloween.
Okay, yeah.
So I met Tom at Halloween at a yoga thing. We both go to the same yoga studio, and I was telling him about the products, and he goes, "You know what? I think my truck needs that stuff."
Fair enough, right? So this was a little red bottle about this big for some fuel additive. Took it around the block, and immediately the check engine light that had been on intermittently for quite some time went away. And then the acceleration and the power, I mean, it's like I'm sold immediately.
Wow.
So then we went and changed oil after that, filters, etc. And saw a significant difference in there. And then I decided, well, since Amsoil makes automatic transmission fluid, brake fluid, differential fluid, radiator fluid, all the fluids. So I bought all the fluids, and we changed the oil out today, except for oil. And now I'm going to drive it for about 1,500 miles down to the tip of Baja, California. Wow. Down to real close to Cabo San Lucas.
Wow.
So So it should be a good test.
I love it, Tom.
So far, I'm liking it. Test is good already.
Anything else we should give them before we peace out?
Peace out. We're good.
We're good?
Peace.
You're the best, Tom. Thanks for sharing this with everybody.
Okay, bro.
You're the man. You're the man.
Yeah.
And we'll see you back next time right here on Synthetic Oil Protection. Remember, check out this playlist here. That's everything we did to Tom's truck. And if you have any questions, anything, give me a buzz. This is what I do about 60, 70 hours a week, full time here on YouTube as a professional YouLubher. You say, well, what's a YouLubher? Well, stick around in the channel. You're going to see a heck of a lot more lube in action to come, which we always say in the channel, lube to love, love to lube. We'll see you back next time right here on Synthetic Oil Protection. Cheers,
Cheers,
to protection, protection, protection.